Hey, Ryan here, Triathlon.com, doing a quick little tip video about that dreaded race got canceled last minute. Immediately what comes up to my mind was Ironman California last year. They had I think you're calling it a bomb cyclone, basically a pretty intense rain storm event that went down in Sacramento the day of the race, and pretty much was not safe to hold the event whatsoever, not even to do the run. So they pretty much everybody got there. They're getting in transition. They're starting to get ready, and then they announced they had to cancel it, and everybody took their stuff and went on their way. So we're going to talk about a few little tips, tricks, and things to keep in mind if your event at the last minute gets canceled, especially 70.3 in an Ironman distance race. It can be definitely a blow to the ego and to the motivation and everything in between. But these are just a few ideas to kind of keep in mind if your event does get squashed at the last minute. Don't get mad at the organizers. The last thing they want to do is put you guys out there in harm's way and put you in a situation where you could possibly get injured or hurt, with lightning, with rain, with anything. They'll try to make the event happen at all costs. Des Moines 70.3, they delayed it for 2 or 3 hours, cut the bike in half, but still had a swim, still had the bike, still had the run. The sun came out and made it challenging, so it was uncomfortable, but they still did the race. 70.3 Memphis last year, I did it. It rained the entire race pretty much. The transition was a mud pit. The bike, 56 miles and nothing but torrential rain. They still held it, and there was no storms, there was no lightning, there was not thunderstorms, and they still held it because it was safe to do so. So the event organizers are not looking for ways to cut corners and not do an event for you. The last thing they want to do is put all that energy into a race and then have it canceled or shortened or changed. They definitely do not want to do that. Do not go out and do the event anyways. I saw some people posted for Ironman California. They're like, let's go out and do this anyway. Well, the problem was they posted pictures and there's trees down on the roads. There's wind, there's rain. It just was not safe to be out there. So the last thing, Lake Tahoe a few years, I think 2015, was canceled because of wildfires. Some people went out and did the race anyway. They canceled it because of air quality issues. So you shouldn't be spending 12, 13, 14, 15 hours out there sucking in debris and just bad air from burning forest. That's the last thing you should be doing. If they cancel them, it's because of a reason. So, I've done it where I've gone indoors and done the event and done it that way. But don't go out on the race course and do the race anyway just because, just like I trained for the event, I'm going to do it anyway. So don't go out and do it anyways. Third, review your options. So usually they'll send out options. They'll send out maybe you can do a race that's in a few months. Maybe you could do a race, you could defer to next year for the same race. So just make sure that you look through your options. Usually they're not going to give you a full refund, so don't count on that. But, maybe you could defer to a 70.3, a smaller race from a full Ironman or something like that. If the timing works out, maybe that's a good option for you. So review all your options before you make a knee-jerk decision. Number 4 was a bucket list, one and done. So if that's the case, I definitely look at those options. Maybe if it's another full that's within a short distance or short time and it's feasible for you as far as logistics go to get there, or to do it next year and maybe have to do another full cycle of training and get ready for that race. So if the one and done, it may be a little bit more difficult of a question for you. And like I said there in point number 5, timing is key for the options. So, if it's the one and done and they're offering, instead of Ironman California, they offer Ironman Arizona, and you can make that happen, maybe that's something you take advantage of so that you don't have to draw out your window if you're a one and done type of person. And then you just continue your training a little bit longer. You can do the race instead of continuing it for another year and then do the race again. How many weeks till the makeup race? So I kind of went over that. So if the makeup race is like 2 or 3 weeks later, works out perfect. It's a couple months later, you have to adjust your training a little bit. If you're going to defer the race same time next year, then your cycle kind of starts over. So you just need to kind of pay attention to the timing on that. Do keep in mind that fitness is not wasted. Everybody always complains, it's like, oh, I wasted all this training and stuff. It's like, no, that's kind of half the point of doing these races and doing the training is to have good fitness, to be in good condition, not just to look good, but just, you're in good physical condition, and it's not wasted necessarily just because you didn't get to do the race. So maybe one day that you didn't get to test your fitness, but it's not wasted fitness. You could just roll in, either do kind of a pause, kind of a maintenance plan, kind of an off-season plan, or if they give you an option that's a couple weeks later, you can roll in and do that race. So it's not totally wasted fitness. So don't think that that's the problem. take consolation. It's not just you. Ironman California, there was, I believe, over 2,500 other athletes. So it wasn't just you out there suffering, it was everybody else. So just take consolation in the fact that it's just not just you out there, it's all the other people who are going to do that race too. They got it squashed at the last minute too. So, there's comfort in numbers out there. So just keep that in mind. What you could do instead of doing the race is go totally opposite and go out there and have, the best meals of your life. Have the best lunch, have the best dinner, have a good old dessert. Just go through and instead of doing a full Ironman, you're doing a restaurant hopping, and you're just going through and you're doing a restaurant crawl, doing a dessert crawl, and eating your way through your sorrows for the race day instead of doing a race. So that's one thing to consider. And then the last point is don't wallow in your self-pity for too long. Take the day after, maybe the week after. It's kind of like, that sucks. But if you stay in that pity and you kind of wallow in it for too long, it becomes a pattern, and over time that can be kind of detrimental to your mindset. So just make sure that you take it with a grain of salt that, stuff happens. We're dealing with Mother Nature. These races are outside, and some things are just out of our control. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully this helps you out. If you're watching on Facebook and these helped you out, give it a thumbs up. See it on YouTube, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit the notification button. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'd like to get back to those. So hopefully that helped you out. Happy training out there, and we'll see you at the finish line. So hopefully your next race goes on without a problem, without a hitch, and you're off and running to the finish line. Talk to you later.